See, you racists believe we should be shaking in our boots, sneakers, sandals, barefoot, or whatever it is we put on our feet because you get on the internet and say horrible racist shit, wear woodland camo, wear these tight affliction shirts, and shoot guns at bunny rabbits and deer and targets. Y'all been doing that. Ain't nothing to be scared of. Hell, you think your racism is worse and scarier than the racist shit preceding us for hundreds of years by your ancestors that had the legal right to do so? The legal right to do their worst to us? You really believe that any of that will fly today? And you can somehow, intimidate and humble a group of people who very much know who we are right now, where we are, much more prepared than our ancestors ever were, more capable and empowered than our ancestors have ever been. You think you can scare us now? You blather on about starting a race war that never ended in the first place. We've always been at war. You started it. White supremacy as a foundational concept has never been successful. History proves that this ideology is built on a foundation of sand and that the Most High God of Scripture made it that way. That's for all you Christian nationalists out there. From chattel slavery through the horrors that were perpetuated on us during Reconstruction, after the Civil War, and the Confederate Army took that L, to Jim Crow and all these other things you guys do, these concepts, they never survive the test of time, ever. Even in countries in Africa, where the indigenous people were colonized by Europeans, who subjected them to the atrocities of white supremacy, the efficacy of that ideology, if it's not totally neutralized right now, it's really weakened to a point where it's not even really mentioning anymore. As a matter of fact, white colonizers are complaining about racial disparities in these African nations. So white supremacy is not ordained by God, but it was a useful tool to show prophecy and power by God. It was never allowed to live longer than it needed to meet the Most High God's promises or purposes. You can compare it to someone using an object to punish someone and then discarding that object when they don't need it anymore. The object became useless after the mission was over and there was no more need for it. For far too long, white supremacists have believed that they are superior based on their supposed intellect and work ethic. But in all actuality, their power only stems from their willingness to cause havoc, chaos, and destruction. Wherever you white supremacists decide to go, that's what you bring to the table. They believe that their unchecked proclivity for evil and violence is somehow evidence of some superiority and some heightened IQ level. That's probably the dumbest shit I've ever heard in my life. This is a huge and devastating miscalculation on their parts. What they don't realize is that this is all part of prophecy, and nothing could have been accomplished by them if not for the God of Scripture allowing this to happen. Further, for those of them that cannot discern the Scripture and what I just said, the prophecy also sees the demise of those who persecuted us, which are the white supremacists of back in the day and now.